We arrived in Nairobi quite late at night and in the pouring rain. And then we transferred to Wilson Airport, which is the local airport. And we spent the first night in the captain's cabin, which is at Wilson Airport. Very pleasant, very comfortable surroundings. The next morning we transferred to the Safari Link terminal, which is at Wilson Airport. The cabins are a short ride away. It took us a few minutes, but probably just too far to walk with our suitcases. Our first stop after doing a go around Mount Kenya, because the Cessna caravans are not pressurized, so you have to go around Mount Kenya. And we stopped at Liwa airfield or airstrip, and we offloaded some passengers there. We then took off and landed at Kalama airfield, which is just outside the Samburu National Reserve. Ewaso Ng'iro River, which is the lifeblood of Samburu in the dry season. North of Samburu is Mount Ulolokwe, which is a good breeding site for ripples, vultures and other raptors. The flight took about just over an hour and 10 minutes or something with stops, and we then transferred onto a vehicle and drove into the actual park through the eastern gate.
When they have the testosterone levels high, they darken on the color. Interesting. But in normal day,
Samburu have what they call the special five, which is the reticulated giraffe, the Beisa Oryx, the Grevy Zebra, Somali Ostrich and Gerenuk. We were quite happy to see all five of the famous five, or special five as they call them.
Yeah.
We spent 3 nights in the Sopa Samburu Lodge. It's the only lodge in the bush area, in the mainland area, that actually overlooks the river in the distance. Most of the other lodges are along the river. And I really enjoyed this lodge. Very comfortable, the food was excellent, accommodation was very good. And the wildlife around the lodge, especially the birding, was excellent as well. So even when you're not out on a game drive, you can really spend a lot of time photographing the birds around. The vulturine guinea fowl would be very tame and walk around, and you could get some excellent pictures of them. Shame, who gave it that name? What an unflattering name.
And then
Sitting in the dining room, looking out into the bush, there was a lot of bird life coming in and around. We could really get up close for some good photography. The antics of the dwarf mongoose was really entertaining. Dik-dik and Gerenuk use their pre-orbital glands to scent mark their territory. This newborn Beisa Oryx would have probably been able to be up and running within an hour, so it wouldn't fall prey to any predators. This martial eagle chick was on the point of fledging when we saw it. A heavily pregnant black-backed jackal. In this time of the year there were lots of babies around, so really a good time to visit Samburu in December. There are two species of ostrich, and the Somali ostrich is the larger of the two, also called a blue-necked ostrich. The grey wren warbler has a very distinctive call and usually lurks in the bushes, so you don't see it very easily without searching for it. Difficult to get clear photographs or video. The greater spotted cuckoo eats mostly caterpillars, although it does eat other insects, and lays its eggs in starlings and even sometimes pied crows' nests. Pygmy falcons breed mostly in white-headed buffalo weaver nests, and this is the female pygmy falcon with the brown on the back. The male just has a plain grey back. And the rock hyrax, the Veru's eagle's favorite prey. Gerenuk males are very territorial, and I found them amongst the impala quite often, probably because small eyes can detect predators much easier than a single animal. apart from dung beetles, other birds like the hornbills and the francolins also scratch amongst the dung and disperse it, picking up seeds that weren't digested. These brown eagles are very difficult to identify. To me this looks like a steppe eagle, as there were 3 of them in close proximity to each other, whereas tawny eagles are usually alone. And the lesser and greater spotted eagles also very similar, so I may be wrong about the identification. We saw 2 impala ewes with their ears cut, and we asked the guide what happened, and he said these have been cut by the Samburu warriors who live in the bush during initiation, and they catch them and cut them as part of their ritual. These 2 male lions were down near the river. This male was blind in the left eye. As with most birds of prey, the female is much larger than the male. Here we see the male sitting at the top of the tree and the female lower down.